Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Vivian Asimos. If you're new around here, hi, I'm a researcher and a writer, and today it is December 18th today, and I wasn't intending on doing any kind of recording or vlogging or doing anything like that in the month of December. I just haven't been doing writing. I haven't been doing research. I haven't been doing any of that. I've been mostly doing admin or doing stuff with my family. So basically that means I don't really have much to record or do, so I haven't been doing that. However, I have a bee in my bonnet. When I get an idea of something that I want to do, I have a hard time focusing on literally anything else. I will just drop all the other stuff that I have to do in order to work on it, and I typically cannot stop myself from doing that. So I had this idea. I want to chase it. So let me explain. So there is a house. I say a house. It's probably more like a mansion, but a big house that is in Salisbury. I pass it frequently on walks. It is on the cathedral grounds. I took a picture of it the other day. I will put it up on the screen so you can see what I am referring to. Basically, I am enraptured by this house. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, because there are more attractive houses on that stretch, like in that area. Definitely looks like somebody is in the process right now of renovating it. When I first moved here, it was a lot more torn up, and I don't know why it has captured my imagination. It's the only house on that stretch that I sit and like wonder about and have like daydreams about, and I sit and ponder what it might be or what its history was or what you could do with it. The fiction series that I am writing takes place here in Salisbury, and so I was debating on roping that house into one of the books at some point. But then I had another thought. Next year, starting in January, I want to do more short story writing. At least write one short story. I also knew that I wanted to experiment with writing a cozy horror genre. So the other day I was walking past this house and I went, what if I do a cozy horror short story involving that house? And it all kind of clicked into place. So now I'm very sorry about the washing machine noise if you can hear it. That's what that noise is. I just really want to get into this house now. I want to study it. I want to connect it to the history. So the story that I write, I don't want it to just be this house. I also want to connect it to the history, the actual history of the house and what would have been going on in that area at what times. Because the cathedral is really old, you know, it's an old cathedral. And so I think it would be fascinating to know the history of the land and the history of that building, and then rope that into the story somehow. So, all of that to say, I'm gonna go to the library today. I ordered a bunch of fiction books to be picked up, and 3 of them are now in, so I should go and pick up those books. So while I'm there picking up the books, I might as well ask and look into the research. And I think that regardless of what they say, I'm going to be trying to do research into that house today. So why don't you come with me? Anyway, let's go to the library. Coffee obtained. So, got some nice info. I learned the name of the building is Leadenhall. So that's a nice a nice bit of information that I did not have before. So I got a lot of information about some of the basics of the history of the building. So from when it was built initially till about 1700s is the last that I heard from the book that I was reading. But that also helped to give me the name and everything of the building. So I was able to then search for it. Basically, it used to be a school up until like a little bit before I moved to Salisbury, so it hasn't been a school since I've been around. It's been permanently closed for a while now, it sounds like, and it's now currently, as I thought, under construction. The construction started this year, so I'm really impressed with my ability to notice very small improvements to a house that no one pays attention to. But basically, they're thinking of converting it into office buildings. Construction is an interesting time to be able to place like a horror thing, right? Because you've got lots of walls coming down, walls being built up. It can disrupt ideas and flows of energy, which you can kind of tie into a horror thing. So it might be a good idea to tie it into the construction going on right now if I wanted to. I basically need to, I think, meditate on it to figure out whether or not it is better for the series or whether it's better for a short story. But before I do that, when I found out about the construction, it was through the Salisbury Cathedral website. They had like updates on it. And one of the links that I saw was the plan, but the internet on my phone was going really slow in the library. So I was going to do this when I came back and look at it because they might have floor plans. And if they have floor plans, that would be fantastic no matter what it is that I am doing with it. So I'm gonna look up the plans and see if I can get floor plans. So that's, I think, my last thing that I'm gonna do today on this front before I have to go back into the mires of admin. Okay, I think that's what we're gonna call it there. Little sum up, apparently, so the building isn't currently under construction. It's currently under proposed, like, alterations. They might be doing some small fixings here and there because it looks really worn down. So they're doing some kind of maintenance stuff, but I think the full construction is currently under planning, so they're not allowed to start yet. And it is very controversial because it seems like they're wanting to bypass some of the laws around historic building conservation, and people are all up in arms, and then there's other people that are like, it should belong to rich people, and other people being like, eat the rich. It is very fun. So, there's a lot there for me to slowly unpack. I did manage to find some floor plans, but of the proposed changes, which gives me at least a brief idea of how big it is, but I don't have any, like, original floor plans. So I think that's something I'm still gonna have to try to find. I don't know if the church would have that. But I think that's something for, like, future Vivian. I think that I'm at the stage right now that I'm going to want to meditate on it and figure out kind of what all of this controversy could mean for a book, or a short story, because that's really fascinating. On top of that, construction in general on old buildings is a really great time to write a story about the building. Because, you know, as far as setting is concerned, not like real world wise, but like in the fiction world, having construction going on can like stir up things or cause moments of change. It's a really good, like, you know, point to kind of focus on. So that could be really fascinating. So I've got like different approaches that I can take with it. I am gonna need to kind of, I think, meditate on it and figure it out. But we'll return to it in the new year. In the meantime, I need to return to doing admin, unfortunately. But thank you so much for coming with me on my little brief respite into doing research on Leadenhall here in Salisbury. We'll return to this in the new year. We'll return to this in the new year and plan something and brainstorm something. But I think I need to figure out what I want to do with it first, at least in a general sense, and then we can kind of tackle from there. But that was kind of fun. I should look up the history of some of these buildings more often. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the new year. Bye!